edition of American Warrior Radio, the place to be for news, notes, interviews, and current events for all issues military and veteran related. If you or someone you know has ever worn the uniform of the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or National Guard or Reserves, you've come to the right place. American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk to Me station, AM 1510 WMEL, and online worldwide at 1510WMEL.com, sponsored by AVET Project. I want to take just a quick minute to let you know the other broadcast channels that you can catch this program on. FM dial 100.7, FM dial 94.7, FM dial 99.9 if you're here on the Space Coast. Listen to us live online every Saturday. Folks, this program is all about supporting our troops and their families, both past and present. So please get comfortable, grab a nice beverage. Don't forget a pen and paper, because we're always efforting to bring you important information that you can use and share with others. With that said, let's roll down the runway and get this show off the ground. You all know me, I'm Garen Cohn. I'm an Air Force veteran, a retired legal advocate for veterans, and founder of AVET Project. But you regular listeners of American Warrior Radio know that I never fly through the airwaves alone.
Hello, I'm Glenn McGuffey, retired Air Force and the retired manager of the Brevard County Veteran Services Team, where it was my honor to help our veterans and eligible dependents obtain VA benefits earned by the veteran service to our great nation. We got a wonderful show for you again, as usual.
Lots of good stuff.
Lots of good stuff, benefit information, some things going on at American Legion Post 200. So hang in there and stick with us.
But Glenn, I got to get this out there.
Yeah.
If there's a veteran, whether they're in Minnesota, Texas, maybe they're in Djibouti, North Africa, and they have an issue, or maybe they got a family member with an issue regarding a VA claim or benefit, how can they get in touch with you? Because you are an accredited representative, meaning you're up to speed on all the latest VA goings on. How can they get a hold of you and get some advice or suggestions?
Yeah, good input there. You can get a hold of me on email at Glenn, Glenn, that's two N's, at AVETproject, AVETproject.org. That's Glenn at AVETproject.org. And send me a brief idea of what you're wanting information about. Sometimes I can answer you right over the email. Sometimes I'll need to get more information from you. And if you're in the local area, of course, I'll set you up for an appointment if that's necessary, and we'll take care of your needs.
And you meet regularly, you hold office hours at American Legion Post 200 in Satellite Beach. Now, I know all you listeners across the country and the world aren't going to know this, but if you're here on the Space Coast, Glenn, they've been gracious enough to afford you the opportunity and some other stuff to handle meeting with the vets and conquering some of their issues.
Oh, absolutely. They give me the space, a desk. They bought me a computer. They bought me a fax machine that I got to get set up, and also a brand new printer. So it's a wonderful place. I appreciate their great support.
For sure.
And
where is it at?
We're on 105 Ocean Boulevard, Satellite Beach. If you come down the Pineda Causeway, take a right-hand turn. The first traffic light you come to, there'll be a 7-Eleven on your right-hand side. Take a right there and go down just a little bit. It's the only two-story building around, and you'll find us.
It's the guided missile post, and we want to hats off to everybody there, particularly the board of directors, for doing a fine job and really keeping things alive within the American Legion family. And this is where I want to mention something that is ongoing, and there's always time to register. The young bucks on the board, and there are about 6 new members there. We've got to encourage and reinvigorate the membership, not just of the guided missile posts there in Satellite Beach, American Legion, but the VFWs and the other American Legion posts. And Glenn, this is a problem nationwide with the American Legion, with these Veteran Service Organization posts. The old guard is getting older, not younger.
Yeah, they're like me. They're getting older. And
you said it.
Somewhere along the way, we're going to be too old to do anything hardly, and we need the young guys We need them in there, and we've got a special event coming up that's
It's
geared
ongoing.
to the and it's ongoing and it's geared to the younger members.
And I'll just mention just a quick example. The Coast Guard right now, as I'm sure the other services do the same thing, but some of their fast boats actually operate with joysticks. And that's a cultural change that the shipbuilders and all the other equipment builders have come to recognize. This generation, the millennials or whatever they're called, have been born and raised with joysticks, right?
Yeah, and that's pretty interesting. I probably couldn't do the joysticks. I'd be a handful using a wheel.
Well, I got to tell you, so the idea is the synergy or the crossover there, the correlation is that American Legion Post 200 in Satellite Beach, and I encourage all American Legion Posts to do this, and probably even the National Magazine will catch up on the story and broadcast it. We are holding an ongoing Madden Xbox 17 football tournament. This is specifically designed to bring in the younger set, the active duty guys. Here, I'll tell you right now, if you're here on the Space Coast, there's still time to register for this 4-round tournament. At the end, it's going to be a great big deal, but it's a lot of fun. 16 players per round, and you get an opportunity to have fun. You get food. You get a free membership if you are on active duty, if you're uniformed. Active duty, Guard, or Reserve, you're going to get a free membership to the American Legion.
Free! Our favorite word, and we're looking forward to having a bunch of new people come, and for the active duty or in uniform, as Guerin said.
And veterans are welcome to join. You come to the post, you participate in the Xbox Madden 17 tournament. I'll tell you how the easiest way is to register. If you're all Facebook savvy, and most of us are now, just go to American Legion Satellite Beach. It's all strung together there. That's the Facebook page where you can register. American Legion Satellite Beach, or I'll give you a quick phone number. This is a retired Marine. He's one of the young guns that has headed up this project. His name is Freydog. Freydog, like Mad Dog, but Freydog. Josh is his name. 619. Remember I told you to get the pen and paper? 619-495-9754. 619-495-9754 for you analog brains like me. But really, go to Facebook, American Legion Satellite Beach, and sign up for this awesome opportunity to be around like-minded people that enjoy the Xbox Madden tournament. We're going to have a lot of fun, and at the end, there's a grand prize winner. There's prizes awarded every single round. You can't miss it. Go to American Legion Satellite Beach Facebook page. Okay, we got that out of the way, Glenn. We got a lot of stuff on the platter today. We talked about, during the last episode of American Warrior Radio, some of the lesser-known benefits. Did you want to follow up on that a bit?
Sure, and for you folks that aren't in the state of Florida, apologies, because the ones I'm going to give you now apply to the ones for the state of Florida. But I want to tell you, every state has its own benefits,
yes,
and they're different in every state. The VA is the VA. That's national.
Correct. Federal.
Worldwide. It's federal benefits. These are for Florida only, but I encourage you to find out what your state benefits are. You may have some that are the same, or you may have some that are better. Well,
I will say that there are a couple states, maybe several, that do offer even more than Florida. And Florida is very veteran-friendly because we have a huge veteran population here.
Yeah, second veterans population in America.
To which state? Texas or California?
California has the most.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. If you're an Oregon vet, you've got some incredible benefits. We're talking tax abatements on your property tax, entry into their state parks, possible reduced fees for licensing and things like that. Glenn's going to share things specific to Florida. But if you're in another locale listening to American Warrior Radio, and I know a lot of you are, Google it. Google, let's say, as an example, Wyoming Veterans Benefits.
Yeah, and look and see what's available to you there. I'll be willing to bet you a lot of you never, that are out of state, of course, have never known what they are, or even that you had them.
Exactly, and I mentioned Wyoming because Bryce's brother, what's his name? We don't know, but Bryce's brother is tuned in there. And thanks for listening, brother. Really appreciate it. Also a military member. So lots of people all over the place. This stuff is specific to Florida. Hit it.
Okay.
Alex.
Alec. Yeah, Alec.
Okay.
Hi, Alec in Wyoming.
The first one here is an state education benefit. And there's a tuition waiver in state colleges and community colleges for those who were honored with a Purple Heart or higher disability, or not disability, but higher medal. This also includes tech training schools, state tech training schools, or you've got out-of-state tuition at universities and community colleges for those honorable discharge veterans. So what does that mean? That means if you're out of state and you come to Florida to go to school, you're going to pay the in-state tuition, not the out-of-state
Which is
tuition.
a lot more for out of
Ooh,
state.
that's a big difference.
Sometimes even double.
Yeah. And then last in the education arena is there's a scholarship for spouses and
Ooh,
dependents.
that sounds free.
Yeah, it is free.
Free.
There's a scholarship for spouses and dependent children, veterans 100%, permanent and total. And this is actually run through the Florida Department of Education. So I would encourage you to go online to Florida Department of Veterans Affairs.
FDVA.
And then look up the benefits book there.
Because you're going to find a lot of information, period. And you can scroll through it. It's kind of cool the way they set the website
Yeah, and
up.
most of them will give you the reference to the Florida statute that authorizes this if you need the real details of what's going on.
Sure, but they break it down and keep it fairly simple. I'm proud of the work they do there.
Yeah, you bet.
Got a new director. I forget his name, but we got a new director because the past FDVA director went on to try and be sheriff somewhere. I'm not sure if he succeeded.
Citrus County.
Yeah, did he win?
I don't know. I don't think. I think that's coming up in the election, Gary.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one, I apologize. This is a worldwide benefit, and that's health care enrollment for 5 years for combat veterans from the date of discharge or last deployment for reserves and National Guard, regardless of other eligibility factors like income or service-connected disabilities. So
Now, a lot of people know this, and the Guard and Reserve members, which are being called up in the droves still, not just in the past, but they're still being called up. We got 104 from the 124th over in North Africa right now, twiddling their thumbs because they don't have anything to do over there. I just spoke to some of the leadership there at the Cocoa Armory. But these guys and gals are still being pulled up to augment the active duty force, so they may not know, but through the yellow ribbon process, after they get back, they find this stuff out. That's an important benefit. You're telling me 5 years?
yeah, if you were 5 years from day of discharge or last deployment for reserves and National Guard, you can enroll in the VA healthcare system. And let me tell you, from what I could find out from the people out at the clinic, at the end of that 5 years, even if nothing's changed, then you would maybe otherwise be ineligible to enroll in the VA healthcare system. They're not going to kick you out.
No, once you get enrolled, you're going to have a photo ID card that says VA, and you put it in your wallet because it's good. If you were traveling to Maine or New Hampshire or somewhere and you had a desperate emergency, or maybe you were out of your meds or something like that, boom, you got that card, you can pop into a facility. And then there's also the emergency care that can wrap into this. So if you're a veteran and you've got your VA ID card and you have an emergent health situation, you, not your family members, you, and you've got your ID card, you pop into a hospital and let them know that you're a veteran in good standing, yada, yada, and let them worry about the stuff down the road, all the administrative things.
You bet. Okay, the next one is back to a Florida benefit, and that's property tax exemptions. And I think most every state has some form of a property tax exemption.
And this sounds like it's involving real money.
This is real money. The first one is if you're rated service connected 10 to 90%, then you get $5,000 tax exemption. That's $5,000 off the value, the appraised value of your home, not $5,000 off your tax bill. So
let's keep it simple then. If I've got a home appraised or assessed at $100,000, they're going to roll off 5,000, so now I'm only paying tax on 95,000, right?
That's it, brother.
It's not like if my tax bill is 8,000, I get 5,000 off that. That isn't it.
No. We probably wish it was, but it's not.
No kidding. Yeah. All right, so that's a good benefit right there.
Yeah, then there's a total tax exemption, property tax exemption, for those who are rated 100% permanent and total. And this one, unlike many policies, carries over to the spouse if the veteran dies of service connection on active duty. But let me tell you, at least in Brevard County, I don't know about the other 66 counties, but in Brevard, if the veteran dies of a service-connected disability, regardless of whether they're on active duty or not, this is going to apply. They will carry over that tax exemption to the spouse.
That's an impressive little savings right there. Of course, you're a mess, you're 100%, but the idea is you got to file for these benefits. They're not going to seek you out and say, ooh, you can have this. You need to file, and there's specific dates. I think the end date is what, March of each year?
Yeah, the last day of March each year is the cutoff date for filing for property tax exemptions. So, and you can file early, so you can get your rear end over to the tax office and file now.
They'll tell you the specifics of what you need, but Glenn laid it out there. If you're between 10 and 90%, you're going to get an exemption. Well, a discount anyway off the assessed rate.
An exemption.
Okay, an exemption. And it not just here in Florida. I can guarantee you it's in other states as well. Maybe not every state. I don't want to speak out of turn. But I know Oregon is. I know Texas offers it. Okay, that great benefit. Anything else there, Glenn?
Yeah, one more, and that's if the veteran's 65 or older and any portion of that service-connected disability they have was combat-related, they get a discount equal to the combined rating. What does that mean?
Yeah, really, what does that mean?
Yeah, what that means is if you've got a 40% rating and you have one of those at 10% for a combat-related disability, you get a 40% discount, not 10% for just the thing that's combat related.
Okay, run that by me again and give me an example. I'm a little slow. It's 10 in the morning here.
Okay. Well, if you're 65 or older,
okay,
and any one of your service-connected disabilities
related to combat
is related to combat, your combined rating, that's a VA term, that your total rating, what the VA math brings you up to,
okay,
is 40%, then you're going to get a 40% discount. This is an exemption. This is a discount. That's how they passed it into law.
Discount from my tax bill?
Discount from your actual bill. That's correct.
Okay, now we're talking real money.
Real money is right.
Okay, so if you've got for instance, certainly a Purple Heart, but any type of disability that's related to combat, the VA rating that you receive in toto, the total rating, is going to be a discount from your bill.
That's right.
That's phenomenal.
And how they figure some of this stuff out is the kind of things you were awarded, like global war on terrorism and so forth like that. In fact, the list is like a page and a half long of the things they recognize.
So do not disqualify yourself. Look into these things. These are real benefits, okay? They were put into play to reward us service members and past service members for a job well done, and the fact that this country really does owe a debt of gratitude to these 1%ers, and that's what I call us, because less than 1% of us have ever served in the military.
That's right, but we're the top 1%.
Oh yeah, cream of the crop, baby. All right, so you got anything else, sir? Because I got a news release I want to get to.
Okay, well, I got veterans preference in Florida.
That's important. Go ahead.
Yeah, you must be 10% or greater service connected, or the spouse of a veteran who's rated 100% permanent and total. Again, this is veterans preference in employment. The veteran must have 1 day of active duty during a period of wartime, not necessarily on the front lines fighting with bayonets and those. Well, I guess they fight with different things nowadays, but
yeah, no bayonets on the battlefield.
Yeah, or the unremarried spouse of a veteran who dies on active duty from a service-connected disability. And again, in Brevard, if you die from a service-connected disability, your spouse will get this benefit. It didn't have to happen on active duty. And then the veteran serves in the qualifying campaign, and that was the one I was talking about, a page and a half worth of qualifying campaigns that is recognized in the state of Florida for veterans preference. Let me say one thing about veterans preference so you're not confused. It's different than the federal veterans preference, and it just means they have to give you a full opportunity to be hired. If somebody else and you are the only two that meet all the criteria and they hire the other person, you don't have a claim. It's got to be given extra preference in the hiring process, not necessarily a guarantee you'll be hired. A lot of people confused about that.
Right. Well, the veterans preference, anytime you can get an extra little advantage, you want to take it. So secure that benefit for sure. Driver's licenses in this state, there's a new little thing that you can get on there too when you go to renew.
Yeah, and I reinvented my brain because I was briefing it wrong before, and that you get a V for veteran on your driver's license, and you can get that at the time of renewal for only $1 extra. Or, this is the part I didn't realize before, at other times for $2 extra, but you must still pay all the fees. So you don't have to wait till it's renew time for your driver's license.
Okay.
You can go in and pay an extra $2 plus all the fees associated with getting a driver's license, and they will give you a new one with the V on it.
Okay, that's important stuff there. Because again, when you get pulled over for a traffic citation or what have you, it helps people understand that you are a veteran. And by golly, we deserve a little extra attention. I'm sorry, we do.
Well, we do.
Of course.
Who else has got a job where you guarantee your life, put your life on the line for our country, and
Police.
That's what these benefits are partially in effect to benefit you and your survivors for.
Okay, so we've got another half hour of American Warrior Radio coming up. And we're going to get into some real good stuff. Service-connected disability compensation, kind of the rules of the road. But October was National Audiology Awareness Month. The VA's making a big push to get guys and gals with hearing loss and that tinnitus, that horrible ringing and buzzing in the ears, addressed. And they put a lot of money towards making sure everybody gets into this protocol and gets the help that they need and have earned. So check that out. All this stuff will be up on avetproject.org and the Facebook pages, as well as American Warrior Radio's Facebook page. Everybody, listen, American Warrior Radio is going to be coming right back after the break, so don't go anywhere. Sharpen that pencil, get a clean sheet of paper, and get a new beverage. We'll be back just after this.